welcome back to another episode of Ark Modded on the Voxel Squad server. How you doing? So, I've been playing around with paint. As you can see, I've painted up my Poison Wyvern a little bit. There's actually a design I found online. They have paint skins or something like that. There's places you can go, and I'll try and remember to put a link in the description for the place that I got this from. And basically people can upload their designs. So as you can see, there's a little bit of paint over the top of certain areas of this skin. But overall, the dramatic effect of it is pretty cool, right? Better than I could have done myself, and that's why I've used it. It's pretty cool. It takes ages and ages to get into detailed parts of painting dinosaurs. And when it's good, it's good. When it's good, it's good. And I've got my Union Jack Argentavus sitting out here still. Or at least I should have. My Union Jack Argentavus. Yeah, there it is. Another dead bird is still painted up with the Union Jack that we did last time. Right? So, all that, I've been messing around with that. And I've also been doing my armour a little bit. So, let me just show you. I've done the different armoured sections and changed them around a little bit. I went through a different phase of a few different designs and ended up with this blue-silver design. Because bright purple did not work. Bright magenta did not work. Those kind of colours that I'm normally associated with in my suit did not work. So I left it like that. Right? And I've finished off the gate tower over there. So we've got a kind of a similar looking gate tower to this end tower. So that whole section is pretty much complete now. And that was just kind of like the side point, the entrance. The resources come in through this side and then they go this way. This area here has always been allotted for the kitchen, and today that is what we're going to mess around with, the kitchen. I've got to figure out what I want to do as a style though, because this section here is also technically kitchen, but well, I could take away some of these foundation bits and pieces here, but it does go into the underside. Let's just go and show you. It does go into the underside here, which is where I was planning on having power generation, so I didn't have to have cables from that power gen all the way down there. I'd have some power generator up here that would feed into the kitchen. I've even put foundations around here. Now we've got a no clip on the server. I've been able to put the foundations around that big sandy hillock that was out the side there. So this whole section can now come down here a little bit further and maybe go up a spiral staircase or something. Maybe no clip spiral staircase. Maybe make another couple of towers to go in line, make that a 4-tower structure or something. I don't know that bit yet, so I'm going to focus in on this section here. And I don't want to just build it out of vanilla building materials. The base area is built out of vanilla building materials, that's good, right? But I want it to look a little bit more like a kitchen. And I've also got the back side of those walls over there, which look really good. And if I put those kind of walls in this next section along, then I'll have a little corridor running down the side there between two walls similar shape and size. Yeah. Also, this has got to be very practical. I was looking at other things, very practical ways of doing things. Let's see. I've got some settlers stuff in here. Yeah. These settler walls are pretty good, practical, easy, but they don't look like much. They look nice. Don't get me wrong, they look nice. They look nice enough. And then I looked at this OzoCraft stuff, which we haven't really delved into yet as a thing. And their wooden walls and everything look really cool as well. But in this situation, I don't feel like they look the part. I don't think they look right. They don't feel like the right thing. I do like the floors though, so I might do something with the floors. If you see a floor here, we can place this floor down. It's like a ceiling floor, yeah. So we can place them down, and they look pretty cool. I like the look of those. They look really nice. Really nice wooden effect instead of those dodgy ones that we've got going on up here. These kind of beams, but these work very well in the warehouse look. So I feel like once again we're going to be using the keeps and castles and fortifications mod structures to sort things out. Now, the settler stuff I don't really want to use in this particular build, even though I want a little bit of a rustic wood. I think the stone stuff will work nicer. But I do feel like these kind of scaffolds and things are going to look very good in that rustic kitchen-y area, right? So for the very first thing I want to do, I'm thinking of layering up some of these areas, and I think we'll make about 30 of those. We'll get 30 of these on the go. Now, these scaffold walls do look pretty cool when they're up against the foundations, because that's one of the things they can do. They can go up against foundations here, and that sort of builds in kind of like a structure. It gives it a little bit more dimension to the structures, right? So if I place it like that, you see, it gives a feel that the place has got something more holding it together. There's no change in that around, though. Can I change that around? No, that's stone foundations. Can I change the scaffold wall? Yeah. We've got various different frame types as well that I can do. It's not easy to do, and, well, there's only really one reason I've found that I would want to do that, and that's to hang pictures on the wall. Right? You can't attach things to foundations. So I've tried this, and this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this thing around the wall, right? You try putting a picture, number 6 picture, on a foundation, and it just simply will not find a connecting point, right? Because it's a foundation. It's not a wall. It doesn't like connecting to non-walls. Whereas then you bring it over to here, and we should be able to find, oh, there was one, a sweet spot in amongst this for connecting it to the wall here, right? So if I'm going to have some kind of signage going on my walls, the occasional country garden recipe and things like that, then I'm going to need to have these scaffold walls as a basis for that, yeah, to be able to set all that up. So what I intend on doing first is going around and just setting up a scaffold to go round here, all the way around here, to work out where it's going to look nice and work around there. It's all going to work with this set as well. This is technically not stone steel. This half arch is currently sweet chestnut. I might go for English oak, so that this lot is English oak as well, and that works nicely together. I don't suppose that one change is going to make that big a difference to the overall effect of the place. But I'm going to go around with that first and do there. And then I'm probably just going to build up 2 rows of these kind of walls again, with windows and walls and the like, arches and all that from the stone basis, and change them into the wood looking version. Because, you know, it looks better. I've already got a load of these bits as well. So we're going to take some of these archways, some of these ornate archways, and some wall sections, and we'll start working on that. Alright, I gotta start messing with this because I'm getting carried away. It's a sneak peek of the future build for this area, this section. What I've done so far is I've cornered off all of the area inside the kitchen, and I've built the kitchen out, right? And I said I would come back when I was doing all the beams and stuff. But I've been messing around, and I wanted to finish it off, and I wanted to make sure that things were in the right place. So I checked out this big gate pattern that we've got here. And this is a pretty epic looking gate. I like it. It's let me see if I can remember what it's called. It's called a keep gate, and obviously a keep gate slot or hole or whatever, keep gate foundation, keep gate frame. That's it. A keep gate. There's actually a slightly bigger one on this as well, which I made and had a look at, but it was too big for that area. And what I wanted was to be able to walk in to there from out of here, but I wanted that overlapping sense of this is one room and you go into another room, and this is more important room, so you get in the bigger area that way. So yeah, I've done all of the roof, 2 CKF roof wall sizes up, and then I put the OzoCraft ceilings in, roof in, because I like the look of it. I know it's a bit of a brighter colour, but I like the look of it. And I may have to change it, but I feel like I needed to use it somewhere, and I did like the look of it up there. Keeps it nice and bright. Whereas other roof stuff just doesn't seem to look quite right. So we've got that, and when we go up the top there, we'll see that I've found a trouble with making it all fit level and straight. Right? mean, this looks good down here now. This is a good corridor area where we can look into either the kitchen or into the warehouse storage crafting area. When we go up to the next level, though, we've kind of got this slightly sunken in OzoCraft floor. Or OzoCraft floor. And it's okay because, well, I could cover it over with the stone. I could do stone over the top of it all. I could even make a little building out of it. I could do anything with it, really. It's just sort of showing me where the roof is. And I kind of like the roof because that gives us 3 different styles of roofs over here. We've got the thatch roofs, we've got the wooden roofs, and then we've got the OzoCraft roofs. And it makes it more interesting to use all these different building materials and that within the build. So as people are flying around, they're going to see these cool things, right? So, Taxi Cab has various things that we want to use in here, including the CKF fireplace, which looks absolutely incredible, by the way. We've got a normal, like, vanilla fireplace as well, which is this thing here. And we've got a few things that go onto the fireplace, okay? And as a fireplace is possibly the most important part of the kitchen, then we're going to have the fireplace situated first. And that also means that I can't finish off the roof until I've finished off the chimney stacks. So I'm wondering now which way round I want to do it. Whether I want the chimney stacks to be going up the side and have a few fires on this side going up this way. You're not allowed to rain through a rooftop, you know. A few fires going through this way, or whether we have one on the end over here and one on the end over there. Now, I'm thinking that this is probably going to be looking the best is bringing it... Oh, it actually gets stuck. That's good. So it gets stuck so you can't take it through the foundations. There is a clip when you get to the wall there, which is nice. Nice. Just need to kind of level it up as best as I can and place it down. Okay, so we've got a very flush-fitting fireplace, which is awesome. And then you're supposed to put the fume or the funnel on it, and then that is not quite as flush-fitting, but it's okay, that's good. And then we can put on the other bits and pieces of it. Here we go, 3 of these to push it up higher, and it should go through there. Yes, and that looks like a decent fireplace. But is it going to look... What's going on with that rooftop? Is it going to look alright? Yeah, I think that's going to look pretty good, isn't it? Down the end of the kitchens, having this great big fireplace. Now, of course, fireplaces need wood, so let's have a little light of it. We'll put a bit of wood in. Let's just take half a stack of that. Put a little wood in here and set it on fire. There you go. Alright, and light fire and take a step back. So that is what that looks like. That's pretty cool looking, isn't it? Now, to add even more to this, right, they've added extra things as well, which is this rotisserie or rotisseria to it, which is basically one of them things you put meat on and turn it around inside there, right? And then there's also this water pot for making food in as well. So this fireplace covers a couple of different uses. So the rotisserie is for cooking meats. So you put your meats on there. I don't think I've got any meats to hand. Let's grab some out of the fridge. Yeah, that's what I've got a fridge for. I've got a refrigerator here. Let's grab some meat. Okay, so we put that onto the rotisserie, and it then will level up. It will show the meat turning on the fire, which in itself is pretty epic, pretty awesome. But then it will cook the meat, which is awesome as well. So then once the meat's cooked, it will turn to a different type of meat. Obviously cooked meat. And that will make the visuals look different as well. Look, you can see that it's cooking the meat, and you can see that some of the meat in that stack is cooked. So there's still raw meat, and there's cooked meat as well, which is pretty cool. And there we go, there's a cooked meat. Right? Obviously that is not the fastest method of cooking meat in the game, because there is the techie version as well. And then there's also, in this little water pot, we can actually put water, recipes, paints, and all those kind of things that we're supposed to use in a cook pot in there as well. So it becomes 3 in 1. It's a fireplace for heat and light, it's a fireplace for cooking. It's also a pot for cooking soups and things in, which is really cool. Really cool. I like it. Now, you normally find that there's a great big table in a kitchen. A great big table in the kitchen for preparing the things, right? So I'm trying my hardest now to figure out how to make a cool looking table fit into this room so that I can still walk around it and all that kind of stuff, but it's basically the center of the kitchen is a table. And this is the only table-like structure I've found. How queer is that? That's just not fair, right? So I want it to, well, it's kind of not attaching perfectly, but it is kind of getting there. Can I see? Yeah, I want it to attach almost identically. I don't want to have to kind of like make it out of foundations and floorings and all that kind of stuff. I would like to make a great big table. And the Keeps mod should have something, but it doesn't seem to have anything. Is that going to work? It's kind of going to work, isn't it? It's kind of going to work. And then I put another one. It will stack on top nicely. That's good. But I don't want tables stacked on top of each other, do I? I want tables to sit next to each other. Very fine detail. A little bit further around there, and then done. Okay, so it is possible. It's not great, but it is possible, and it is going to look like a full-on table. I can get next to it, which is good. When you're looking at me next to the table, it seems to be an okay size. It doesn't seem to need to be any higher. I mean, in the size of the room, when you're in first person, that table doesn't seem to be that big at all. And then there's also these OzoCraft or OzoCraft chairs, which I thought I'd test out to see what they look like in here, leaving me plenty of space for other things down the side of the table on chairs and stuff, right? Let's sit on it. Hey! So you sit on it and it makes you feel like you're the right size. Yeah, that looks like a right height for a table and chairs, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. And then get off it and I jump onto the table. Excellent. That's just what you want from a chair, isn't it? Automatically ejects you onto the table. Great. There were some other little bits and pieces in this OzoCraft stuff that I could mess around with, but I'm not sure about it all. I mean, there's plant pots and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to put any of those on. And there's other decorations such as a carpet and a welcome mat and wall hangers for hanging stuff on. You can attach the lamp to this to attach lamps to things like that. That's pretty cool. And a round carpet. I think I've just made that carpet out of my hair. Was it hair? Yes, I've just made that carpet out of my hair. A carpet made of my hair is pretty awesome. Yes, perfect. Oh, and I can place this as a mat on the table, like that. There you go. A great big place setting. It's technically a carpet, but it's also a giant place setting for the table in the kitchen here, which I feel is pretty cool, pretty good. And maybe I should do this again a bit further across, leaving a bit of a gap in between to make it feel like there's two tables in here, rather than making one great long big table. Although one great long big table will probably look a lot better. I also, with this now, I need to figure out how the size of the beams go in. I think I'd like the beams to go across the middle, like one of those walls down, so the beams in the ceiling. But with this, it doesn't work quite the same as everything else. Like these beams here, they require me to have it connected to the ceiling. They have to be connected to the ceiling, which is a bit odd because, well, it's a beam and then the ceiling gets connected to the beam, not the other way around. In this, you have to connect the beam to a ceiling, which makes it feel a bit odd. But there's that. We'll sort that out in a minute. And also, there's a few other little bits and pieces, such as the cooking pot and campfire. I don't think I need a campfire, but the cooking pot is kind of like the only other thing. I wonder if I can put the pestle and mortar down somewhere. Oh yeah, thanks for that. It's a kitchen, Taxi. It's a kitchen. We could just put this over here in the corner, make it look like we've got some cooking pots going on in the corner. There we go, just to give us another little place Yeah. And can we put this on the table? Yes, we can. So we could set up a few tables around the place with a little bit of pestle and mortar going on around the outside to do some kind of like decorational kitchen to make it look like people live in and work in the kitchen. And also got to figure out the arches above. Maybe I'll do something like that and just have those kind of things across. But it'd be nicer if it was more open, wouldn't it? A bit more like this. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of solution and figure it out. Okay, well, I've been experimenting a little bit. You might be able to make it out. It's fresh morning daylight, so we're only just getting some light in here because of the windows. And all the walls are in the way and all that. I really need to sort out the lighting, which we might do in a little bit as well. But I can't get these good old, what are they, settler ones? Scaffold arches to connect without connecting to something above them. Yeah, we got that. So I'll try and things like that. It doesn't really look right. Okay. So then there was something else that I wanted to try, which was these things, which are scaffold ceilings. Scaffold ceilings look like beams across beams, don't they? So they haven't really got a substance to them. And then I can attach these curves and beams to it, and that looks quite good. I quite like that. That's a quite a good effect. I like that. Yeah. In comparison to using the stone wall version and turning it to wood, which gives us that arched effect in this style, which is very cool. I like that for certain situations, but not here. Not here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's the keep archways. If anything, that would be the best, right? But then, OzoCraft. OzoCraft. OzoCraft has these particular beams, horizontal pillars, right? Horizontal pillars, ideally known for being beams, right? And they've got these little supporting arched corner pillar bits as well. I think there's options to where the beam should go and how many beams and all that. They're just on-off, basically, on-off settings, and pick it up, of course, or demolish it. Yeah. But that's all there is to it, really. And then the corner pillars have fancy settings. So there's fancy versions, right, which has this kind of like paneling for it, or basic version, which is as smooth as this one. And this doesn't have those kind of versions in it, so you're kind of stuck with having the basic version all the way through if you're doing it like that. And then these pillars don't have any options either. So between them, if you want to do the beams, you're going to end up having to have the basic set all the way through these beams. Fancy pillars look okay. Basic pillars is what I need to set it up as, right? And I kind of like that. That's almost identical to what I was imagining it be. I've got to put it through the walls here, though, which means changing these walls around a little bit so that it looks a bit odd when you've got the arches, the arch windows next to it. So I'd have to change it all around like that. But it's very simple to set up. We've got 3 component parts. We've got the main pillar. We've got the pillar that can hold the beam, and we've got the beam itself. And the beam itself just latches on once you've got a pillar. So you don't even need a second one if you really didn't want to, but I do want to. And then across like that. Yeah, it does have this little lip here, which connects nicely to that wall there. If I didn't want it to go any higher, then that would be awesome. I can take this out, actually. Let's remove this ornate thing. But then you've got this still sitting on here like that. You see, the beam doesn't go through the wall, but the corner pillar does. So then, of course, I'm adding an extra pillar to it there and setting that to basic instead of fancy to make it look good. And then another one that goes up through there, and again, making that basic, not fancy. Yeah, and that blends in with all the beams and stuff. And I just fell off the edge there. Good job, good job. That blends in with all the beams and stuff, which will look okay. There isn't any change of settings, though, to change the wood colour, so it's kind of odd, but I can live with it. I can live with it because it's going to be in the ceiling and hidden away quite a bit. And then this only comes up as far as this post here, which is also pretty good because I wanted to put something around the lip here, and that just gives me some kind of like foundation for it. It gives me a kind of a foundation for where the walls can go, or little fences can go in here. So all in all, that's pretty cool, and I like it. And because we've been doing a lot of OzoCraft today, I figured that I'd do a lot more of that in the beams of this kitchen because, well, it looks cool, it looks nice, and it matches in with the ceiling as well. Okay? The other thing that I wanted to try we've got these things from OzoCraft. Now I've been using the kind of the vanilla wall torches. These are the S Plus wall torches, so I can take them off. I can set the settings to be auto on and off, so at night they come on, in the daylight they go off automatically. Set the intensity and all that kind of stuff. You can even set them to come on before or after. So at night time all my torches light, and in the morning all the torches go out. Well, this being a darker room, it needs to have those lantern torch lights all the time. And one of the things that OzoCraft has, I don't know if I can do it, but OzoCraft has, are these little lantern things, right? It looks very small when I've started this. This is the first time I've used it, to be honest. Let's see, let's get one. I don't really want to set it up so that I'm setting myself up to fail with symmetry in the future, but let's put one there. Okay, that felt like something broke then. But it's a little hook. Even if it's just a little hook for a bit of detail up when we're looking up from the kitchen, that's cool, right? A little hook. Is there any options? No, no options other than destroy it. And then we can put this lantern on it. Can I put the lantern on it, please? There we go. We can hook a lantern on it. Okay, and then it's got light fire as an option, and that's it. And it's a little lantern like that, which may give off a decent amount of light. Maybe not as controllable as those. Maybe it is. Maybe with these ones, you see, I could set these up on the beams like this around the place and have some of them that are on all the time and some of them that come on at night time to give us the extra light at night time. Whereas these, what options do they have? They have the option to put out the fire, pick up the lamp, access the inventory, and demolish. Access the inventory, and presumably it must contain fuel such as wood or thatch to light the fire, lights and warms the immediate area. Okay, so I guess the fuel side of things isn't required because it's quite well lit at the minute, which is a good thing to have it infinitely on. But does it look right in this section? I'm not so sure that that is going to be as bright, anywhere near as bright as that. I'd have a lot of those around, wouldn't I? So I feel like that is not going to be the option. I might use those somewhere else. I think I'm going to use these hooks though. I kind of like these hooks just kind of like around the area. So I'll try and get them on the join between two places like that. That's kind of the join. I'll just put them on like that, just so that we've got a little bit of interest up above. And I might also do a little bit of deco-craft stuff, or I'd say deco-craft like it's Minecraft modded. Deco stuff, like there's another couple of things that we've been doing in here before. Let's see, decorational crafting from these. There's these things like shields, ornamental shields from the wall. Let's just have a look, see what these look like. And also banners, we can hang some banners from it as well. Let's check those things out and see what they look like. And while I've got this scaffold up, this hobbled together roof, I may as well test out a few more ideas as what we can do to make this place look cool. So there's a shield. Can I put the shield up there like so? Like between those two hooks? Yes, I can. And just have shields hanging from the top there. That'd look pretty cool as well, wouldn't it? What about torches? Can I put a torch actually on the beam here? Yes, I can. That looks cool as well. Might do a couple like this and have those lit up in the rafters. And they kind of look a bit like these ones that have nothing in. It's almost like torches without the torches in them, which is cool enough as well. Just to add a little bit of like lived-in feel where things aren't quite where they're supposed to. And so there we have it. Well, it's not final because I'm messing around with paint at the minute to see what painting we can do on these different like hanging thing. What are they called? Tapestries? Couts? Hanging banners. Okay, banners. Of course, they're banners. The hanging banners still need a little bit more work, and I haven't really started on this side at all yet. I haven't even begun to do the more high-tech side. But this side is looking pretty cool, like a proper medieval kitchen, and I feel it is looking good. We've got hair blankets, or hair rugs. We've got round carpets made of my hair, and plants inside. There's actually this OzoCraft, or OzoCraft, plant pots, and they have multiple options, these plant pots. They plant 1, 2, 3, or 4. And I've done 3 different ones here. There's one over here, a different one as well. They're pretty cool looking, aren't they? They look like the berry plants. That kind of Ark feel to them, and they kind of look cool in the middle of the play setting. I might need to adjust how level they are, because they don't seem to be quite in the middle of the table, do they? So I might have to mess around with that a little bit. But I wanted to finish up for today's episode. I've even got a bench in here, a little wooden bench to have us sit down on, a little wooden bench and all that kind of stuff. Can I just have an outro pose on here? Yeah, just sitting down, looking at my plants, sitting in my kitchen, having a chill at the end of today's episode. As you can see, it is a practical kitchen. It's got all the basics that you need for a practical kitchen, and it's also got a few really cool features and bits and pieces that I like as well. The next part of the kitchen is going to be more of the technical kitchen, and it's going to be a lot more of the simple, quick, do everything you need kind of kitchens. This side really was more for show and more for just a bit of fun and get an idea of how I'm going to make the place look. Until next episode, though, thank you very, very much for watching. Can I salute you here? I can salute you. I will see you in the next episode very soon. Goodbye.